Well, good afternoon from Two Happy Children Farm. It's late June, and I'm looking at a test plot that we did, and I'm going to let you know what we did and what we're finding. Over the spring, we had a ton of rain here in central Texas, and this area of the field was running water really fast down into my vegetable field. So on April 16th, I went out and planted half acre of corn here, and this is corn that's been planted into my old vegetable ground, and I just wanted to slow down the erosion and slow the water down before it hit my major cash crops. So I planted this is a conventional variety, Mycogen 940, and I really wanted to get some roots in the ground quick, so I put down 34,000 plants. And I was planning to put this into vegetables, so I put down 50 pounds of nitrogen with 50 pounds of phosphorus. But that's it. I was just trying to get some plants. I didn't care what they look like. Tired and spindly would be fine. I just wanted to get some roots to slow down the water. Sure enough, the plants came up. We kept getting rain. Things kept looking good, so I went ahead and did a post-emerge weed control. And we've also set a flag here at this spot. You can see the flag in there. So things were going so well, we got to silking stage, and we couldn't understand how did these plants get to be 9 feet tall with only 50 pounds of nitrogen. I'm standing here today, we're at 1800 heat units, and you look down the row and I would have expected a ton of firing by now. In general around here, most of all the fields are almost all yellow now and on their march to death. This field is still vigorous at 1800 heat units. So we pulled tissue net analysis a week ago, and we found in the ear leaf we had 2.8% nitrogen, 0.32% phosphorus, and 2.2% potassium. And all the other levels were really good for all the other micronutrients. So as I said, this was a vegetable ground. Over the years I fed it well because we're growing high value cash crops like tomatoes and cantaloupe. So in a given year I might have put out 500 pounds of potash. So we'll find out what the soil levels here are. But I think that's the takeaway here. It wasn't just nitrogen feeding this crop. I think it's the combination. I'm also wondering if some of that nitrogen I had over the years had leached down, and this crop is mining it out a little, because even on paper it doesn't make sense that you could get this kind of crop with 50 pounds of nitrogen. So let's take a look at the ear. It's the ear on the top. We're averaging 16 around by 32. So with our population, that averages out to a 200 bushel crop. The ear below there is from my conventional cornfield. You can see the age difference. That's the one we planted in March on the bottom. And he was also an experimental area where we've only applied 150 pounds of nitrogen. And we're looking at this ear as representation. We could be in the 150 to 175 bushel range with that much nitrogen. Most of my soil is 2 to 3% organic matter, and we've had excellent moisture this year. And the ear leaf on the left hand was showing 3.5% nitrogen, 0.32 phosphorus, and 2.3 on the potassium. So well fed, nice looking plant even now. So to me the takeaway is we've been chasing yields down here, and when I started I was chasing it using nitrogen only, and that was kind of the fool's game because you replace it every year, and at 50 cents a pound it's expensive, and if you end up using 2 pounds per bushel you're really going to go backwards. So I had to try to find something else that was missing. And so in 2016 I started doing tissue tests through the season, and every test came up short on potassium. So my main fields, I've put out now 800 pounds of potash, and as a result I think I'm getting a lot better nitrogen utilization than I was in the past. And this ear on the top, I mean, with only a 50-pound rate applied, it doesn't mean there wasn't more nitrogen in the soil. It just means I didn't spend money to get it there. And that's looking really good. Even if the kernels turn light, that's probably a 200 bushel ear right there. So that's what we're doing here at the farm. If I had the money, I'd probably put 1,000 pounds of potassium out on every acre, because we're short here when you look at the cation exchange capacity. We're down in the, I started at 1% and I finally moved it up to 2 with what I've applied. So thanks for watching. 34,000 plants here waving in the wind, and 50 pounds of nitrogen with some excellent results.